What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Wrestling World. Today, we'll be taking a look at all of the Sasha Banks drama that took off after WrestleMania 35, and how the WWE almost lost Sasha for good. Now that the rumors and everything have settled down, and her hiatus has been over for a long time, we finally know what was true and what wasn't true, so let's get into it. So this whole messy situation started right after WrestleMania 35. Sasha Banks and Bayley had just become the first ever WWE Women's Tag Team Champions a few weeks before WrestleMania. Now, behind the scenes, Sasha Banks and Bayley were the only ones that were really hammering the idea to Vince McMahon about women's tag titles. Sure, all of the women played a role in the creation of the titles, but Sasha and Bayley were the most consistent ones, and were talking to Vince McMahon about the titles every single day. Vince McMahon and the WWE finally gave in and created the women's titles for a 2019 release date. They were obviously emotional and had major plans to make these titles even bigger than they already were, but this is where the problem kicked in. Only a few weeks after winning the titles, and barely even defending it, Sasha and Bayley were set to lose the titles at WrestleMania. This was something that Sasha and Bayley heavily disagreed with. The women's tag titles were brand new, and they didn't want the titles to already have that hot potato effect of changing hands so fast between multiple tag teams. Sasha and Bayley wanted to create a historic reign so that it will actually mean something when they eventually lost the titles down the line. But those plans were denied, and they ended up losing the titles to the Iconics, Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, at WrestleMania 35. Now, like we mentioned before, the WWE did have big plans for the Iconics' reign, and that's why they won the titles at Mania. The Bellas twins were set to return the week after WrestleMania 35 and head right into a feud with the Iconics for the women's tag titles. However, these plans were destroyed after Nikki Bella had re-injured her neck and had a cyst on her brain. The Bellas' return was cancelled, and the Iconics' title reign also ended up being a little messy as well. As the women's tag champions, the Iconics were kept off of television for several weeks, and it just really hurt the titles even more. But going back to Sasha Banks, what happened that WrestleMania weekend? Now, the popular bogus rumor was that Sasha Banks and Bayley protested dropping the titles by lying down on the floor in the locker room, as well as the rumor of Sasha Banks walking out of the WWE with no intention to return to the company. So let's go over what's true and not true there. Bayley and Sasha have addressed the throwing a tantrum rumor and said that it never happened and was a false rumor. But Sasha Banks, the WWE character, addressed the rumor on Raw when she returned and said that it did happen. This was reportedly a line made by Paul Heyman that took a bogus popular dirt sheet rumor and implemented it into a character's story, and in Sasha's case, get her more heat since she was just beginning her heel turn at the time. He believed that Sasha owning up to the tantrum rumors would really get the fans to turn on her even more, so that's why it was included in the promo. That rumor was always hard to believe. The thought of them lying on the floor and pleading to keep the tag titles does seem a bit ridiculous. Maybe Sasha and Bayley did plead to keep the titles in a professional way, but the whole tantrum story never happened. The part of everything that was true was the fact that Sasha Banks walked out of the WWE with likely no intention to return. Sasha was frustrated with her position and all of the false promises from the WWE, especially after they lost the tag titles. Losing the tag titles so fast was what made Sasha finally snap and lose hope in the WWE. Sasha did take 5 long months away from the WWE, with little to no updates about her status with the company. She had turned her hair color back to its natural color, she started going by her real first name, and even started following AEW. This made the WWE fans really wonder what was going on between Sasha and the WWE. After being gone forever, Sasha finally agreed to meet with Vince McMahon, and they ended up working it out. The WWE Network even did a documentary of the few days leading up to Sasha's WWE return, and she was very emotional about being away from her passion for so long. Sasha did return right into the main event scene, but was unable to capture the Women's Championship, and now tags along with Bayley. Of course, there's a lot of story to easily tell here. Sasha can turn on Bayley at any time, and they can come up with some storyline of her being tired of being Bayley's sidekick, and finally challenge Bayley for the title. But championship or not, Sasha Banks is being heavily featured on the WWE television again, so maybe that's all she really wanted. And the title win for Sasha Banks will still be coming up in the near future as well. It was a really close call, and the WWE almost lost one of their biggest female superstars for good, but Vince McMahon was able to make the save. What are your thoughts on this situation? Leave your comments, and thanks for watching, guys.